Welcome to episode 4 of the Minority Small Business Digest, the platform that gives you the latest minority small business information, news, and forecasts that pertain to your business. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel to be the first to see the exciting upcoming episodes in which we will share information with you that will help you in starting, operating, and growing your minority small business. This episode is hosted by Yas Approved Apparel Mall, a very unique marketing platform that showcases successful Black-owned businesses that offer all kinds of goods and services. So visiting their website is not just another trip to the mall, but at this mall, you will find so many professional and talented vendors that offer a wide range of products and services. In the previous episode 3, our guest answered questions about the benefits of becoming certified as a minority small business. And in episode 2, we explored the steps required in starting a business, and particularly mentioned the importance of having a business plan. In this episode, which is hosted by Yas Approved Apparel Mall, we identify some important aspects of business development that you want to thoroughly consider before writing your business plan and pursuing your business. More interestingly, toward the end of the presentation, we feature 2 growing businesses that are a part of Yas Approved Apparel Mall, in which these business owners discuss their journey towards successfully starting their businesses, including some challenges they overcame. Come along with me and let's take a listen at the presentation that's already in progress. And be sure to listen until the end, where we'll be shining a spotlight on the 2 businesses that we just mentioned. And I wanted to share today in this meeting workshop some aspects of owning a business that I think are very important for considering how to move forward with your business idea. If you've started your business, how to move forward with writing a business plan and how to plan ahead in progressing your business. So this meeting today is hosted by Yas Approved Apparel Mall, and with Sister Corinne and everyone else that's a part of the mall. The topic today will be preparing well for business so you can stay open for business. So I'm going to take about 30 minutes to discuss aspects of owning your business that I think is very important and things that you will need to consider when writing a business plan. So preparing well for business so you can stay open for business. We are all creative beings, and we have so much creativity, skills, and talent. And a lot of times when you have talent and skills, you want to turn it into, how can I turn it into a business? So what I want to go through is how to develop your business idea, determine what it really is, be able to define it, and then deliver a good product or service. Then we'll end up with talking about your business plan. Writing a business plan, we won't get too much into detail about writing the business plan because this wasn't a session for that, but we will touch upon some of the things to consider further with writing a business plan. And I'll give a link at the end of a sample business plan that you can look at so you can see all the different parts of a business plan. So developing your business idea. Number 1, take as much time as you need to develop your business idea in detail. Sometimes we get excited about our idea and we say, I want to start a business, and we just jump into doing some of the logistics, and we haven't really thought about a lot of the things that encompasses starting it, managing it, operating it, and growing it. So take the time that you need to think in a very detailed manner about what is it that you want to provide as a business, whether it be a service or product. Or you may have multiple products or services that you want to put or have available in your business, and that's fine. So also, the products and services that you decide you want to turn into a business, you want to think about what skills, talents, and experience do you have that lends itself to helping you be able to promote and to provide that business or service. And if you don't have the skills, talents, and experience that's needed, will you partner with or call upon the assistance of someone that you trust that can lend those skills and talents and experience to help get your product and service out there? Okay. Once you develop your business idea, you want to determine what type of business you want to have. Is this a business or is it a hustle? And if it's a hustle, that's nothing negative, but some people don't really want to fully engage themselves in establishing a business. They don't necessarily want to register it. They don't necessarily want to do all the logistics that surrounds having a legal business and promoting it either locally, nationally, or even internationally. They just want to provide a service or product for a few people that they know in a limited community. And that's all they want to do to make some extra money. I've had hustles as well as a business. So just determine which one is it. Is this a hustle or just it's a business? Because depending on what the answer is, there's different approaches that would be required, versus the other. Also, how long do you want to operate this business? Are you starting the business just for a period of time? I know someone that started in trucking. They purchased a truck and they hauled locally, and their intention was just to do trucking long enough to make extra money to put his kids through college. And once he got them through college, he stopped the trucking business and he stopped doing it. So you want to decide, is this a business you want to have for the long haul, something you want to have passed down to your children, or just something for a period of time? You have to determine that and think about that. Next, how much time do you have and want to put into the business? A lot of times we start things, we say, if we're too quick with starting it without going through this process of thinking about these important aspects of it, we'll jump into it and we'll offer certain things that we don't even have the time to prepare for or the time to deliver. So you want to think about how much time do you have? If you're working a 9 to 5, do you have the time to even have this business, to operate the business, to run the business, to manage the business? And if you don't, then you might want to think about hiring someone or either having someone work alongside you that can take up the slack for the time that you may not personally have. And if you don't have the time to give to your business full time, determine how much time do you have to give to the business and put that within your schedule. So maybe starting out, you may not have a whole lot of time, but you can carve out a certain number of hours a week. And then as things change in your personal schedule, you may be able to migrate to full time. So you want to think about that. Having a business costs money. It costs money to run, it costs money to start, and it costs money to operate. And depending on the business, that amount of what's needed money-wise, monetarily, would be determined by what type of business it is. So how much money does it take to run your particular business? And do you have that money, or do you have other means of funding your business? Other means could be taking out a loan, having investors, adding or contributing personally from your personal savings, or taking monies from other jobs or things that you do to make money to fund this idea or your current business. So think about how much money will it take to start and run the business. And that'll help you gauge what you can do starting out, how far you can go, and how much of it you can provide going forward. Next, what resources will you need to successfully run your business? Even though we are gifted and talented in so many different areas, and we have our craft that we know how to do, but when you're running a business, you need more than just your craft to be perfected. You have to consider the logistics that it takes for running a business, the accounting, the tax. Depending on what business it is, you may need legal counsel, someone that's administrative to help you organize your business. And if you don't have that yourself, or you're not able to do that yourself, you want to think about what resources can I tap into to learn how to do those other aspects of the business that are important for running it. So there's a lot of free resources out there. The SBA is one of them, and some others that you can get information, even writing your business plan. If you don't know how to write a business plan, there's a lot of resources out there. One will provide at the end to show you how to do these things that you may not ordinarily know how to do. So determine what you will need and what resource. Do the research and find out what resources are out there that'll help you information-wise, and what knowledgeable people that you know personally that have either started a business, that are doing something similar, or have done something similar to some of the aspects of your business that you can tap into and have a conversation or a few conversations with, and they can share information to help you. Next, does your business require specific legal advice? Depending on the business, some businesses will want to have legal counsel before you start. In this country, in America, you have a lot of litigation, a lot of suits and things like that. So you want to cover yourself, especially if you're a product business. You want to make sure that you're covered. One of the ways to do that is to get insurance, commercial insurance, whether for service business or product business. And if you don't know certain legal ramifications that you need to have in place before you start your business, you might want to seek out legal counsel and advice. So you want to determine that. If you're providing a product or service, you want to define it, be able to define it in detail, and define who is your target market. Who will buy your product? Who will buy your service? Who do you want to buy it, and why? Sit with yourself and think about that, because that's going to be very important in determining how you move forward with your business. Okay, so you want to be sure you're clear on being able to define your product, define your service in detail, and define your target audience for that product or service. For your product and service, what need will it meet, if any, at all? How will it help your target audience, and what advantages does it have over maybe a competitor that's doing a similar product or service? You want to think about this, because this will help you understand how to market your business. Because there are a lot of businesses out there where people do the same thing, which is fine, because some people that are doing the same thing, they have their target market that's different than their competitor's target market, which is fine. One of the things that you definitely want to capitalize on is determining what makes your business different. What gives your business the advantage? That would be a great selling point and marketing strategy for getting more attention to your business. Next, how much will or does it cost to produce or provide your product or service? So we talked about thinking about how much it will cost to run your business, but now you want to think more detailed. How much does it cost to produce or provide your specific product or service? And some of the things to think about, if you have a product business, how much does it cost for materials to produce? Do you need machinery or equipment to produce it? Do you need to rent space somewhere or contract out machinery or space to produce it? If you're a service business, how much does it cost to actually deliver the service? Do you have to hire someone else to actually deliver the particular service? And do you need a place to house or to conduct service or house the product? So these are all direct costs for how much it costs to provide the product or service. And you want to think about that. Next, what risks and challenges are associated with operating your business? Again, if you're talking about a product business, you have to think more along the lines of risk factors, depending on what kind of product it is. Will your product possibly incur a reaction, allergic reaction, if it's something that's put on the skin or something that it's ingested? Is there a risk? And the answer could be no, there is no risk. But you want to determine that and think about that up front. Is there a risk if you're providing, let's say, a driving service? Is there a risk of accident? How do you deal with that if you're a transportation business? So you just want to determine what those risks are. And then the next step after determining those risks, then you're determine how will you deal with those risks or minimize them or eliminate them altogether if possible. And if you can't eliminate them or minimize them, then you'll have to think about what insurance, what liability could possibly be there and what insurance will cover any possible liability. So that's very important. Next, who else has a similar business and how similar is it and how different is it? So that question comes along the lines of who are your competitors? Think about who's doing something similar, if they are, who the businesses are that are doing something similar. Are they located where you are? Are they attracting the same target market that you want to attract? And if there are similar businesses out there, what makes your business different than theirs? Be able to define that and make that clear, because that, again, will be a selling point and a marketing point. Delivery. Delivery is so important. Delivering your product in a professional manner and deliver it in such a way that people want to continue to purchase your service or your product. So in delivering your product, let's say you've gone through all the previous steps of defining, determining what your business is, understanding your cost and your target market. So now how are you going to deliver the business or deliver the product or service? And how are you going to get the attention of your target market? So the way that you do that is through marketing. So you want to decide on marketing strategies that are right for your type of business. It could be email marketing, social media marketing, word of mouth, radio, print, trade show, etc. So you want to find out what's the best way to get my business information out there, to let my target audience know what I'm selling, and to provide all the details or even provide samples to people in your target market so you can market your business correctly. So you want to determine which strategies work best for you and what resources are out there to help you market your business, because there's resources out there as well that will help you market your business, some for free and some at minimal cost. Again, so next you want to prepare yourself for the right amount of help to fully deliver what you advertise. So when you're advertising your business, do not overpromise and underdeliver. You don't want to do that, because that can really hurt you, because you can get people excited about your product. And then if you're not able to deliver it in the way that you advertise it, or deliver it in a timely manner, or deliver what it is that you said you were going to provide, that can really leave a bad taste in people's mouth. And then it can create negative press for you. So people will begin to talk and say, hey, I ordered from this business and their product wasn't what it said that it would be. And then you have to deal with the negative press that comes from that. So you want to make sure before you actually deliver, make sure you're delivering what you promised. Make sure you have the help in how to deliver the product. If it's something, or especially product businesses where you're trying to sell a certain volume of product, make sure you've already researched how you get the products to your customers, whether in bulk or what courier services or shipment services you're going to use, whether it's a service business. How do you actually implement or execute the service for your customer, and know who you need to help you do that? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to need help. And you want to know how much time does it take to deliver your product or service. If you need staff, additional staff, what type of staff, and what specific roles will the staff engage in to help you deliver, and also the cost of delivering your product. So we talked about the cost of providing or making your product or your service, but now what's the cost of delivering it? If you're delivering products or services where you have to physically go to the client's location or travel out of state, around town, or even internationally, that's a cost that's incurred in delivering. So you want to be able to prepare for that and know that up front. Again, I cannot stress enough, you do not want to overpromise and underdeliver. Make sure when you're starting out, a lot of times we have the bigger picture in our head of how we want our business to prosper, and we have these ideas of how far reaching we want our products and services to go, which is perfectly fine. But sometimes we have to start smaller. You want to manage the whole beginning to end process of delivering your product and your service. And once you can perfect that, adding and increasing will not be a problem. So that's my advice for not over-promising and under-delivering. So the next thing is, once you've thought about those last few steps, now you can better prepare for writing your business plan. The question becomes, why do I need a business plan? A business plan is not needed in all cases, especially if you're just doing a hustle. But the reason why you want a business plan, because it forces you to put into writing so many aspects of your business that'll help you think it through, plan for an operation, successful operation, management, and everything in between. So the things that we just went through is a starting point, a very good starting point, because when you go and look at the template for a business plan, it asks a lot of detailed questions that touch upon those previous aspects that we talked about. So you're putting together your business idea in an organized format that covers what your objective is, why you're starting the business, how much it costs, and financial projections for a few years out, staffing, competitive analysis. All these things go into a business plan in a very detailed way. And it helps you look at your business plan, or look at your business in a way where you kind of see it from top to bottom. And once you put it on paper, it helps you think about things that you may not have thought about already, and you can adjust the business plan, add things to it. So you start a business plan, you write a first draft and use that as your guide. And then as your business progresses, you can always modify that business plan or modify aspects of it as you grow your business, as you shift in your objectives for the business. A lot of times we start businesses and we have one idea in mind. And then as we grow and have more experience with it, we change and we say, hey, I think I want to take the business in another direction. So then you would modify the business plan accordingly. Another reason for writing a business plan is if you're seeking any type of outside funding, you get to a point where you say, hey, I would like to seek outside investors. I would like to apply for a business loan, or I would like to partner with another business. In such cases, you definitely want to have a business plan, because they're going to want to see your business plan. It's like your resume for your business. They want to see that you've thought out your business idea, your business very well. You've thought out the risk. You've thought out the financial requirements. You've thought out the goals that you have for the business and your projections. And the way to get someone to invest in your business is to be able to explain your business very well. And the business plan does that. So there are also venture capitalists out there where their job is only to look for businesses, viable businesses to give money to and to agree upon a certain return to fund a business. So there are venture capitalists that will be interested in funding your business if that's the route you want to go. They'll definitely require a business plan as well. If you plan on merging or selling your business eventually. Some people only start businesses to eventually sell them, which is fine. And that's something to think about. But once you sell your business, people want to know, well, they want to see your business on print and by way of a business plan to see and make decisions on whether this is a viable business for them to buy. So those are the benefits and reasons why you would want to have a business plan. Okay, here we have a sample business plan reference here. If somebody could put that in the chat, I'd appreciate it. This is from the SBA. The SBA.gov is a site, Small Business Administration. That's what it stands for. And they provide a lot of free information about starting a business and funding a business. And this is the link that I thought would be good to go to find some sample business plans and to get you in the mindset of thinking about writing your business plan, what information you'll need. So you can go to this link as well as you can Google business plans and also try to search for business plans that are similar to your business to even get more information. One of the things I want to offer is a 30-minute business consulting for free. There's a few folks here on the chat or in the meeting that I've gotten the pleasure of meeting with about their business goals. And hopefully I've been able to provide information to them to help them. So if you're interested in taking advantage of a free 30-minute business consulting, this is the link that you can go to sign up for it. I'll put that in the chat as well before the end of the meeting. So I welcome you to do that. It'd be my pleasure. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. And before we have Q&A, I wanted to have two businesses that are in the mall be featured today. And one of those businesses is the owner and founder of Yaz Approved Apparel. And also she has some businesses in the mall. So I wanted to have them talk about their journey towards starting their business in light of some of the aspects that we went through today and defining, determining, and delivering their business product or service. So I want them to the first one will be the Haya Healing Co. by Sister Shonda. And I want each person to first give your name, give your business name, and tell us briefly about your product. And then also talk to us briefly about your journey to starting your business in light of some of the things that we talked about, any challenges, any lessons learned. And we're going to do that. So right now we're going to have Haya Healing Co. and we're going to have Shonda.
My business got started like a lot of businesses got started in 2020, and y'all know why. So, it was no toilet paper, it was no hand sanitizer to be found. So I looked up on online and I said, well, what does hand sanitizer have to have in it? And I saw a couple of recipes, and I've always been a top fan of essential oils. I believe the Most High gave us everything we need on this earth to take care of our bodies and ourselves. So I just started researching, what essential oil did what. And to keep it all natural, I had to research, I knew aloe vera was one of the ingredients, but I didn't want an aloe vera gel with a chemical alcohol in it. and that's what I was finding. So I really had to diligently search for an all natural aloe vera gel because that's what I wanted for me and my family. So long story short, I put, one recipe together and my kids loved it. And then I started sharing it with my friends and they loved it. And to be honest, the Most High just started pouring recipes into me because I'm not a chemist. I didn't know if I was going to blow my house up with putting chemicals together, but I knew it wasn't going to blow up because it was no chemicals, but I didn't know how things was going to mix and mingle and, So, but all praises to him because he would say, I could just feel it. He would say, well, no, you're going to put, this amount of drops in this and this amount of drops in that. And then I wanted it to be non-oily. I wanted it to be non-oily, but I also wanted it to moisturize the hands as well. And I did not like the fact that over-the-counter hand sanitizers had this alcohol residue smell on the hand. And then when you go to pick up your food to eat, you got all of that on your food because I've done it and I've tasted it on the food. And I was like, no, it cannot have that as well. That's a no. So I had my, check boxes of what it had to have and what it didn't have to have. And I just put it together. I just really, after that, I was like, oh, I want to be the Bath and Body Works for my brothers and sisters, because after doing a little research, I found out that 99% of everything that's on the market has some type of chemical in it. I don't care what it is. And people are using these things because they smell good. Yes, but what made them smell that good? Okay, and that's where those chemicals come in. They use fragrance chemicals, and I just decided just to depend on the Most High and put his fragrances together. And he guided me in that. And so that's how the company was basically born, because I did the first one, which I call the name brand or the signature brand of the Haya Healing Company. Then I said, I want to do soap. And so I started playing around with the soaps. Now, I've never done soap. Didn't want to try to do the whole lye thing because, again, lye is a chemical. So I wanted no part of that. So I found a base that had, minimal to none, or it was a vegetable base or something, or, to that degree. It was a glycerin base or it was a natural palm oil base. That's what I wanted my soaps to be. And then I just kind of, the Haya soap became popular. And I think because it really tingles the skin because of the ingredients in it. It's good for women's face because of the wrinkles. Cinnamon is a antiseptic, antibacterial. It helps with the face and wrinkles and all of that. So again, the Most High, just all praises to him. He just told me what to do and I did it. And it's just kind of taken off from there. I got into the children's soap, and then I saw a thing on Pinterest about Play-Doh soap, and I was like, Play-Doh soap? Wait a minute, that sounds fun. I think I want to play with some Play-Doh soap. So I started researching that, and I said, okay, this is a recipe, but she had chemicals. No chemicals for me. So I said, these are going on our future kings and queens. No chemicals. So I had to go back to the drawing board and study, hey, what can I put together to make this my recipe? And again, all praises to the Most High, he gave it to me. So that's basically the basis. Now I'm going to tell you a challenge I had to, I came across last month. Brother Lamar from Black Funds Matter. He's the founder of Black Funds Matter. And he sent me an email and he says, I'd like to buy your sanitizer Now, I don't know how he heard of me. I don't know any of that because his email sat in my spam box for a week and a half. So when I reached back out to him, it was a week and a half later, and he says, well, I'd like to put your, sanitizers in my black boxes. Well, this would be my first invoice ever on a big scale order to send out. Now, that was a feat. Why? Because I found during making his, the quantity that he asked me for, that he paid me for, I began to run out of ingredients. Okay. Now, I had a cutoff time and I wanted to meet that cutoff time. So I usually order my essential oils. I had no time for that. I had to diligently search around where I live to find the oils that I needed because I had ran out of them. Now that was challenging, but it was also a good lesson for me on how to, when when you run out of something or when something happens, what do? Do you just fold, or do you get up and do what you have to do and find what you need to get it done and not make excuses? I didn't want to make any excuses to the brother about, oh, well, I couldn't get this oil or I couldn't find this in time. No. He paid for a whole order. I wanted to send his whole order at the time he asked me, to send it. So that was a great lesson for me on how to do a bulk order, how to present the bulk order, how to research to find the things that I needed, because I didn't have 2 days to wait for Amazon to deliver it. I had to get it. So I ended up driving an hour away from where I live just to get oil. But it didn't matter. I was dedicated. I was honored that the Most High sent him and ordered that much from me. So I was honored for the experience. I was honored because he liked it. And that's it. That's where I sit today.
Thank you. Let me introduce Sister Corinne, who's up next. So again, the Haya Healing Co. Sister Shonda that just presented, she's a featured business today, and she's in the mall. So check her out at Yas Approved Apparel Mall, and you see the website there. She and other businesses, wonderful businesses, are there for your enjoyment. And so next we're going to have, and it's befitting to have, the owner and founder of Yas Approved Apparel Mall, which we are all a part. And she's going to talk about her business, Yas Approved Apparel. She may talk about some of, or a few of her businesses that are also in the mall, and how she started her journey to create this wonderful platform for our businesses. So without further ado, you see her information there. The website is www.yasapprovedapparel.com, and her email address is yasapprovedapparel@gmail.com. Just so that you know, Sister Shonda's email address is there as well, thehayahealingco.com, and her email address is, her website is thehayahealingco.com, and her email address is thehayahealingco@mail.com. So next we're going to have Sister Corinne, Yas Approved Apparel, so she can come in her own way.
Well, I am Corinne F.A. Alawa, and I will do the best I can here. My journey, is completely and totally led by the Most High, from Yas Approved Apparel to Yas Approved Apparel Mall to all my teas. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about all my teas and how that got started. I was working on the mall. And I was just going to put a couple of teas in the mall. I had no intentions on selling tea or making tea for anyone, but anytime I had guests, they would come to my house and I would make them tea, and they would really, really love the tea. And, always try to encourage me to go ahead and make some tea. There was one episode that happened where I had my family was at my house, and one of my family members was having chest pain, and she just couldn't shake the chest pain. And so it went on for hours. And I said, well, you know what, you're going to stay overnight here. And after everyone left, I was able to pray and seek the Most High, and like that, it was just like put this together. And I made the tea, and she took a few sips of that tea, and within 5 minutes, her body had a reaction, and her chest pain went away. Now she's an elder sister, so I was kind of concerned. And the next day, she said, 'cause she's a diabetic, she was like, my sugar is the best. It's the levels is the best it's been, and now I don't think she's taking. I don't think she has to take the medication anymore, or if it is, it's very minimal, to the best of my knowledge. So I was working on the mall, and I said, well, I'm just going to put just a couple of teas, maybe 3. And I could hear my spirit, no, make a whole new site for your tea. And I'm like, make a whole new site? I'm not tech savvy. I'm barely making it with doing the mall. And so I did in one day. And I was getting downloads of, combinations of teas to make. Of course, I was doing the research as well. And within a day, I had, some teas, and I had the tea shop up. Within a week's time after that, orders were pouring in. A couple of weeks later, after that, testimonies started coming in, just things that I just did not expect. And the Most High, I just didn't know anything about the medicinal benefits of teas and things like that. I did take a foraging class with Sister Journey. I love that sister so much. I learned so very much from her. So I did get some knowledge from her and other people that the Most High has set my way. I wasn't looking to make money off of, teas and, pushing products to our people. My whole thing was I wanted to put together a mall, a place where all of our businesses can come together and we could support one another, lean on one another, promote one another. That was my goal. It wasn't to create a whole nother business outside of that. But the Most High, he's just amazing. He keeps his promise. So teas. One of my best selling teas is I like to call it a coffee. It's the Bantu blend. Bantu blend. So I was drinking coffee, and coffee is caffeinated, and I was like, I want to stop. I don't want to put any more caffeine in my body. So I had to detox. And if you've been drinking caffeine for years and you're detoxing, you're getting headaches and all kinds of things. So but I also loved the taste, the flavor of tea. And so I started doing some research. What can I put together to make, the flavor of tea great. And Sister Violet, she she gave me a few ideas there. And so I took her ideas. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna use? You know, like how am I gonna measure this? What are the ratios? What are the ratios gonna be? And so I tried the combination. I'm like, okay, I have my granddaughter here. So I'm like, okay, let's taste it. She's like, no, grandma, this one tastes like dirty water. So I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board. So I prayed, I asked the Most High, I fell asleep, and I had a dream of what it should be. And so the next day, I put those combinations together at the ratios that was given to me. And my granddaughter, she's my go person. And she tastes it, she's like, yes, grandma, this one is it. And recently I had finally was able to convince my husband to taste it. And this was right after he got finished his regular coffee. And so he said, well, can I make it the same way I make my regular coffee? I'm like, sure you can. He put the cream in it. He put sugar in it, and he drank it. And he was like, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this much. So I'm looking at him. He was like, it tastes like coffee. So I'm like, let me record it and share it. And I recorded what he said. So, if y'all know and was able to listen to the recording, so it tastes just like coffee. And so it began to sell, and I began to get compliments like, wow, this really, you would never even know the difference. And so if you are out there and you love the flavor of coffee and you don't want the caffeine, or you may be allergic to caffeine or something, try Bantu blend. Try the Bantu blend. It's not just flavorful, but it's very healthy as well. My journey in the mall. When I came into the awakening, I felt just by the things that I was hearing that I needed to dress a specific way. I had to wear fringes. I couldn't mix the materials, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go to hell. I was losing sleep. And so, I prayed to the Most High, and I'm like, doing these things. And what am I going to do? I had my husband driving me all over creation, and I would find something, the dress would be above the knees. Well, I would find something and it would have a mixed material or something like that. So it's like, oh my goodness. So my son bought me a sewing machine. And I'm like, great, I got a sewing machine. I don't know how to use it. Don't know anything about it, but I can figure it out. And so I said, well, you know what? I'm going to run out, buy a pattern. So I bought a pattern, very simple pattern. I tried it, could not follow that pattern for the life of me. To this day, I do not use a pattern. So I turned on some praise and worship music, got my fabric, imagine what I wanted to, I envisioned what I wanted to wear, the dress that I wanted to wear, and I began to cut out the pattern and start sewing it. And by the time I was done, I had the dress, I had the head wrap, I had the sash that go with it. And I was like, wow, Most High, you have really, really good taste. And from there, it was just one tunic and skirt set after another. And I said, well, if I ever have a business, I'm going to name it Yah's Approved Apparel Mall. I said, I'm going to name it Yah's Approved Apparel. It wasn't mall yet, just Yah's Approved Apparel. I wrote it down and I put it on, I had it kind of draped over my bureau that was kind of broken down in this room. And my husband passed by, he was like, what are you doing? I was like, that's what's going to be, the name of my business. That's what it's going to be. And, the Most High sent a sister along, and she was like, oh, if you want the business, these are the steps that you need to take, and I took those steps, and I ended up with the business. And then I thought, why just have this business just for only myself. I could share it. I can help so many more people. Like we can all come together and have, support one another. And it was adding one store after another, hence Yas approved, Apparel Mall after that. And I'm making a long story short. But the Most High, and bringing and building the mall, he was sending people with all these different gifts and talents and abilities. It's just Yas approved the Apparel Mall. If you can bring it up, it has everything that you can, almost everything that you can possibly think of is in that mall. Even a school, doula services, all kinds of things. Go in and check out Yas Approved Apparel Mall. You have Higher Healing that's in there with hand sanitizers. If you want clothes, it's there. If you need an illustrator, it's there. If you need an architect, it's there. If you need a graphic designer, it's there. It's everything that you need, just about, is there. And it's growing. We have over 30 businesses now, and it's just growing and growing and growing. And soon we're going to have a nice surprise for them all. That's going to even add to it. And we've even become global in the process. So we have people in the Bahamas. We have one in Grenada. And we're just looking to just expand and just take back really what's our position where we really should be. And so I envision Yas Approved Apparel Mall and us sisters and brothers just helping one another, leaning on one another. I mean, when we supporting one another, just circulating all of our funds within the Yas Approved Apparel Mall umbrella, not just in the States, but everywhere where we are, in every corner of the earth. And in the process of doing that, of raising awareness about the Most High, because it is Yas Approved Apparel Mall.
Thank you so much, Sister Corinne and Sister Shonda. We're going to have Q&A. So if there's anybody on the call or on this session that has a question for any of the businesses that we featured or for myself, just let us know.
I have a question, Sister Shonda. So when you got into that bulk order, right, and you didn't have all the products, because that's happened to me before when I was selling it was a meatball mix I was doing, and I'm like, man, I don't have all this what I need right here, and I was praying like, Father, please help me to let this thing weigh 1 pound, and it did. So what? I know you say you didn't panic or whatever, but that's my thing, because. Even though my mix is not out there yet, but it's a big sell. And my thing is that everything is sky high, everything is sky high, and getting the products, here and there. So how do you do like bulk order and stuff when you order your products?
Actually, no, because my business is still new. If things are on sale, I try to buy at least 2 of them. Especially when I know it goes in a certain product that's a bestseller. Like the children's line is the bestseller. The children's line and the Higher Healing soap is the bestseller. So I try to keep stocked up on those because I know, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get an order for that. Now, when it came to Brother Lamar's order, I didn't have any quantity or quantification on how much gel I was going to need to get 20 bottles of this and 20 bottles of that. I didn't have that quantification. So what I really had to do was just trial and error. And that's when I ran out. And I live in Sister Violet, I live in a very small town. I don't live in a major city. So I don't have a Walgreens. I don't have a large Walmart. I have one small Walmart, one grocery store, so I had to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from where I live in order to go get this 1 or 2 oils that I knew I needed to fill it. So I just planned my time out. I knew this day you got to go early and go get these oils and then come back and finish the order. And that's just how I did it. But I also I'm a stickler on coupons. And there's a lot of website coupons. Always look for a coupon when you're getting ready to buy a product because they're out there. Promo codes. I always look for a promo code. And 9 times out of 10, can find one. Some work, some don't. But when they work, it's a great savings. I've built up a reputation with a essential oil company called Eden's Gardens. But I hope that answered your question, Sister Violet. I just had to wing it. I didn't buy bulk. The only thing I buy in bulk is my gel, the gel that I use, because it lasts long. Mm-hmm. It's a longevity. I try to get what I can, money-wise that I know will last long, because you can buy a small quantity, and I call it nickel and diamond me. I can buy a small quantity, but every time I use it, now I'm out of it. And so now I got to go buy some more, and then I got to go buy some more. Well, if I had just bought a large one, I wouldn't have had to I wouldn't have had to go back and keep purchasing the same, ingredient over and over and over instead of just having a big bulk. So I would say you might want to just think about, what is the bulk that goes into your recipe? What is it that is the most money, and try to do that cost effectively and find promo codes for that to help you along in that. And then, that way you'll know, okay, well, it's going to take me this much to do this many bags. And then you're going to also have to, where I'm in the middle of doing this too, Sister Violet, I'm trying to get a quantification of how many bottles can I fill with this amount? You know what I mean? So if somebody calls me and says, oh, I want 10 bottles, well, then I know I have to make this amount of sanitizer to fulfill those 10 bottles. That's what I'm saying. So you want to start streamlining that too. Like, this much bread or ingredients made 5 bags. So if I double the bread, then I'm going to have 10 bags. That's going to help. It helped me.
Thank you for watching episode 4, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, please, right now, so that you can be the first to be notified when we post our next video. And remember, plan your business well so that you can stay open for business. And come along with me now as we visit Yas Approved Apparel Mall at YasApprovedApparel.com. See you in the next episode. The Minority Small Business Digest is brought to you by Global Organization and Planning Services, LLC, with 2 locations, one in Newark, New Jersey, and the other in Metro Atlanta, Georgia. You can reach out to us by phone, email, or on our website's contact page. Check out our website at www.globalorganizationplanning.com